case you're a little bit unaware of what's going on, this guy literally is getting his height increased. And this is some surgery that came out, I don't know when it came out, but surgery that circulated for a little bit. I remember I saw it a bit ago, and then I saw this come up in my recommended again. And I was like, you know what? This looks like a good old thing to look at. So I'm looking at it now, and you're seeing the progress as he's barely able to walk, which is a miracle and a half. And day 50, that's about a month and a half, give or take. I guess. Almost 2 months. So this is a long time for to recover from a surgery. But, you see these and you're just like, first of all, how does it work? And what are the side effects? This is the first 2 questions I always ask every time something like this comes out. Because you know how you have those medicine commercials? It's like, do I take NyQuil if you are diabetic? Side effects of NyQuil include inflammation, defamation, this and that. And I'm just like, whoa, slow down. Could you go over the side effects again? So every time I watch TV, like when I go out of town, and then I see those ads on the TV, I'm like, all right, pull out the side effects. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's look at one right now. Take a look at this one.
Herb quit smoking with Chantix and support. Talk to your doctor about Chantix and a support plan that's right for you. Some people have had changes in behavior, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, and suicide taking or after stopping Chantix. If you notice agitation, hostility, depression, or changes in behavior, thinking, or mood that are not typical for you, or if you develop thoughts or actions, stop taking Chantix and call your doctor right away.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the amount of side effects was in one commercial. This is an old one too, so these ones are classics. But over the years, I noticed those tend to speed up a bit. First they start off like, do not take Chantix if but then it's like, all right, do not take Adderall if it causes you headaches, nausea, this and that. I was like, wow. I said, whoa, yeah. But they should start doing that for surgeries. Like, if you want to increase your height, side effects may include never be able to walk again. You might have to be stuck in a wheelchair your whole life, and you're going to be looked down upon, even though you're trying to get your height increased. That should be what should happen. But, and of course, these type of surgeries are not cheap at all. But we could take a look at the cost later. I'm just going to talk about more or less how I remember how it works. And so essentially, they break your bones in your legs, and then they stretch it, and then they put like little pieces of like metal, and then slowly over time it increases. So that's why you see it takes quite some time to get done, and it takes him quite a lot of time to recover. And we're only on day 50. I don't even know what the rest of this video is. But then the side effects, like I wonder, is that if it comes to legs, no, I don't know my anatomy too well. It's not my strong suit, but I know there's a lot of little like key points in your legs, like you have plates and stuff that you can't really move too much, and they already wear down, especially in your joints. And then once those wear down as you get older, it becomes much harder to walk. That's why you see people, they age, it's like, they gets worse and worse. And take into account like the diet nowadays, where you have a lot more sugar and stuff, where too much sugar can actually destroy your bones or like weaken them, sorry. And yeah, interesting stuff. But then my next question too is that what happens if you get into an accident with this surgery? Because, well, like say for example your leg opens up or something, does that mean you have this metal sticking out and it's really hard for people to stitch it back together? Like, there's so many questions I have for this. And of course I could even ask, why did the guy get the surgery? But like, let's be honest here, we all know why. People like tall. It's just something people like. And it's like this: women, or not really women, but men like big butts, then women will get big butts. Men like bigger lips, then women will put bigger lips. Or women like muscles, men will take steroids and get more muscular. So this is something where it's like, well, I like tall, then we'll make myself taller. But then it's like, you're taller, but you also can't walk. You're taller, but you can't engage in like the gym ever again. And so you gotta weigh the pros and cons. But of course, sometimes when you get certain surgeries, you're not thinking about the future, you're thinking about how can I fix myself in the now. And that's about it. So it's just really interesting to me that you see this and then you're more like, is it worth it? And in the immediate present, it's like, yes, but then maybe, I don't know, even 2 years down the line, it's like, oh my God, I'm suffering. But also, I'll say this too, this kind of surgery, while it's interesting to look at, I personally could never see myself being a lab rat and getting metal in my legs. That is not happening to me. I could be 5 feet tall and I'll still never put metal in my legs. Not that it's ever going to happen to me, but yeah, no. But let's continue on because there is a bit more to this video, so let's take a look. Okay, you know what? Let's actually see how much time this took. I'm a little curious. 71 days into months. So if you take 71 divided by 30, that's about 2. Or we could just do it in a calculator, like intellectual. And so if you type in Google here, 71 days is equal to about 2.33424 months. So, yeah, 2.5 months, give or take. So that's a long time to increase your height by 15 centimeters. And I almost forgot, actually, the more height you increase, the more likely this will backfire. So as you can see here, he went from about like 165 centimeters to 1.79.5. Oh, so that's meters. I somehow switched systems in my head. That's a pretty big jump. That's an extra, like, let's do it right now, actually. So 1.65 meters to feet, that's like, let's get a conversion. Ooh, it's about 5'4", and then he went to 179.5. So about 5'10". Okay. Now, unfortunately, you're not in the NBA category yet. I'm sorry, man. You're just a little bit too short to make it into it. But it's okay. Not all of us can make it. Besides, you might get Brittany Renner after you, and you don't want that. Ugh. Okay, I did not need to say that. But point is, when you have that much of an increase in your height, ooh, the side effects are looking less appealing. Like, goodness gracious. And the interesting part too I want to say is that this guy is actually not even ugly. Like, not even close. He's just short. Like, he looks like he has a decent build, decent everything else, and then it's just like, make himself look taller. And sometimes I know, it's like my friends and I will joke, be like, if I was a bit taller, I'd be unstoppable. And it's like not entirely true. I mean, we say people want like taller people, or whatever. But like, I want you to look at Ed Kemper, for instance. Now, if you don't know who Ed Kemper is, I suggest doing your own research on that one because I don't want to explain what he did. And he also did a lot. But Ed Kemper looks like this, okay? And he was like 6'7" or something. So you telling me you want an Ed Kemper? Like, there's no chance. So, digressing here. No, it's just we're in that age now where people are just getting all these types of surgeries, and you see the side effects, and people have died from getting stuff like a BBL. If you thought a BBL is a safe surgery, then, well, I hope you don't think that way, but it really is not safe at all. And so when I see stuff like this, I'm just like, who knows how many people tried this and didn't make it. But before we actually close off this video, I'm going to take a look at like one of the associations who does this. So I'm looking at the height lengthening surgery association, sorry. And so this looks about the cost of how much it is, because actually no, let's look at the average cost of a BBL surgery. Let's look at that instead first. I'm sure BBL surgery's gone down though, so I'm not entirely worried. But it's definitely not as much as this one costs. So looking at this one's the Toronto Cosmetic Clinic. It's typically ranged from $12,500 to $19,500. Okay, that is way cheaper than this one I'm looking at, because this one, it says it costs about $4,000 and $70,000 in South Korea, Thailand, but in Europe it's $55,000 to $80,000. So, yeah. That's a crazy one. No, that's a lot of money to spend on changing your height. So you can tell how it's in its infancy, but BBL definitely is cheaper than this and probably less dangerous. So, yeah. So it's kind of like this too. Do you want to spend all this money to risk your life looking just a little bit better? Or do you just not spend it and work with what you got? That's a question for another day. Ugh. At this point, just call it the man BBL. Oh, no. Yeah, nah. Like I said, I ain't no lab rat, so you're never gonna catch me in no lab getting rods in my legs. Ooh, man. But I feel like too, there's also like this could be used in a way to like fix people like I don't know, not dwarfism, but fix other issues with people like in their legs. So perhaps this could be a gateway to something. Who knows? But yeah, you just see these things and you're just like, man, that is interesting and also crazy that this is a surgery. But my also to end off is that is 15 centimeters or whatever worth it? I must say no. That's just for me, but I can't speak for anybody else. So I'm just saying, in the future, if there's any really surgeries that I'm gonna get, it better be something cool. Like I want ever watch Cyclops from the X-Men? I want to be able to do that. Just open a visor, go pew! That's more what I would want. At least make it, impactful. Though in Cyberpunk you can get like blades in your arms and all that, and I'm just like, no, I want the laser eyes. Yeah. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Just something that I really wanted to look at, and it's pretty interesting to talk about. Ugh. It's one of that phrase where I say sprawl or grow tall, but in this case, this guy actually took the latter. He went tall. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. Leave a dislike if you want to. You get shorter every time you dislike a video, so it's not my loss. Later.